single of Chelsea and a single of Jordan.
Single first.
Well, Billy, I have to congratulate you on this film. I watched it. You are one of my top must-see festival films. Where did a fertile imagination is an understatement for a man who comes up with this. Where did this story idea come from? You've got a psychiatrist who has mental issues. You've got an ME who's a detective. You've got a John Doe that is... Jeremy Childs is off the rails with his performance. So where did this idea come from?
Well, I mean, it comes from some pretty dark places, actually. You know what I mean? I've had some people really close to me with some mental health issues, and so, you know, I've had a friend of mine die on me, and you know, connecting to people that go through those sorts of really hard losses, like, you know, not like your grandpa dying at 85, you know what I mean, but have to go through a car accident or an illness or something like that. And that randomness and that insanity, you know, is really, for me, at the core of this film. So the insanity is the human condition right there.
That pretty much summarized it on multiple levels in this film. You know, you have some incredible visuals happening in here, but above that, even your sound design in terms of how you manipulate, and you've designed that at the moments when evil comes to call. Talk to me about your sound design on this one.
And some of that shit over there. Oh, yeah. Look, I come from that area a little bit. I used to do a lot of radio plays and stuff like that. So I used to make these short, sort of like old school stuff from the 50s. You know, those weird suspense type stuff. I did a handful of those and kind of learned on that. You know what I mean? And figured out sound and audio. And I used to do these things that felt like you were listening to a movie, and so I carried a lot of that skill level that I did that and to this sort of thing, and I just, you know, dig deep and make sure that, you know, we don't just settle for something that's not right, you know.
The sound design just floored me, and I know so many of the guys at Formosa and other sound guys, so I'm very attuned with sound in films, and it's so often overlooked by directors. It is not overlooked by you.
No, it was very important to me, and like I said, I dug deep on it. You know, I made sure that it had that psychological element.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I'm curious because your visuals are also so compelling, especially when we're dealing with John Doe, especially when we're dealing with John Doe interacting with other people. You know, what kind of challenges did you have? Was that practical in camera effects? Was it VFX?
Mostly practical. I did a lot of visual, but it was really important to me to do practical effects the whole time. Again, it felt more organic, and I wanted that level of that organic feeling. I didn't want, you know, when you start getting CGI, it starts to not feel right or feel fake, you know, and I wanted this whole thing to come internally. Everything's very, like I said, it takes place in a psych ward, right? He's a psychiatrist, right? You know what I mean?
Should be in the psycho ward.
Yeah, and things get weird in his head, and you know what I mean? And the more internal we get, the more I feel human it gets, and the more organic I want it to be. So.
Billy, amazing. I know I'm going to get to do a sit down with you, I think tomorrow or over the weekend, and we can go into great detail about the film. Congratulations and enjoy the showing tonight. Everybody's going to love it. It's fabulous.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, thanks, Billy.
Thank you.